We go to the Title 2. This is Crimes Against Fundamental Laws of the State. So we have the Chapter 1, Arbitrary Detention or Expulsion, Violation of Dwelling, Prohibition, Interruption, and Dissolution of Peaceful Meeting, and the Crimes Against Religious Worship. Can you commit this crime if you are a police officer? Can you commit this crime if you are an ordinary person? What is your answer? Yes, if you are in connivance to the public officer. But ordinarily, the crime is committed only by a public officer. So, why it is called crimes against fundamental laws of the state? What is Article 3 of 1987 Constitution? James Amil Danilla. What is Article 3 of the 1987 Constitution? James. They are called crimes against fundamental laws of the state because they violate the Bill of Rights of the 1987 Constitution. For example, Section 1 of Article 3 of 1987 Constitution, which states that no person shall be deprived of liberty, life, and property without due process of the law. So, this is in relation to Article 124, 125, and 126 of the Revised Penal Code, which punish a public officer or employee whose case where an individual is unlawfully deprived of liberty. Also, under Section 6 of Article 3, which states that the liberty of abode and changing the same within the limits prescribed by the law shall not be impaired except upon lawful order of the court. Neither shall the right to travel be impaired except in the interest of national security, public safety, public health, as may be provided by law. What do you mean by the right and liberty to abode? John Dominic Pastores. Can you reside in Katarman? John Dominic? No? Can you reside in Metro Manila if you want to? Anywhere in the Philippines? That is the liberty of abode. You can build your house wherever you want to in the Philippines. No one can compel you. Of course, that is subject to the right of other person. Kung lupa ng ibang tao, hindi ka naman maaari magtayo ng bahay doon kung hindi mo naman pagmamayari yan. But generally, anywhere you can build your house. And you can travel around the world, around the Philippines. And no one can prevent you from doing that. Except, of course, if there is a in the interest of national security, public safety, public health. Just like what happened during the COVID. So our travel were restricted. That is in relation to Article 127 of the Revised Penal Code, which punishes public officer or employee who shall unlawfully expel a person from the Philippines or compel the person to change his residence. Okay? How about Section 2 of Article 3 of 1987 Constitution? What is that? The right of the people to be secured in their person, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures of whatever nature and for any purposes shall be inviolable. No search warrant or warrant of arrest shall be issued except upon probable cause to be determined personally by the judge after the examination under oath and affirmation of the complainant and the witnesses he may produce, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the person or things to be seized. That is in relation to Article 128, 129, and 130 of the Revised Penal Code. So question, who can issue a warrant of arrest or search warrant? Norbin Sigira. Norbin, according to Article 3, Section 2, who can issue warrant of arrest? And search warrant, it's only the judge. Correct. So, huwag kayong maniniwala dun sa mga text messages na nare-receive nyo sa cellphone na kayo ay ipapakulong at may warrant of arrest na in-issue ang piskal or ang chief of police. Even the chief of police cannot issue a warrant of arrest or search warrant. So, if you happen to receive a search warrant or warrant of arrest signed by police officer, chief of police, signed by the mayor, or signed by the President of the Philippines, the warrant is not valid because in our Constitution, only the judge can issue a warrant of arrest. Okay, Section 4, Article 3 of the 1987 Constitution, which states that no law shall be passed abridging the freedom of speech, of expression, of the press, the right of the people to peaceably assemble and petition the government for redress of grievances. In relation to Article 131 of the Revised Penal Code. And Section 5, under Article 3 of the 1987 Constitution, it states that no law shall be made respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. The free exercise and enjoyment of religious freedom and worship without discrimination or preference shall forever be allowed. No religious test shall be required for the exercise of civil or political rights. Article 132 and 133 of the Revised Penal Code punish the violation of the right to free exercise and enjoyment of religious profession and worship. So the government cannot say that you have to be a member of the Roman Catholic Church, that you should be a member of Iglesia Ni Cristo or other sect or religion, because we have the freedom of religion. You can even establish a religion if you want. Diba? Maraming nagtatayo ng free of tax. And the government, the state cannot fund the construction of church or any building in relation to the religion. Diba? Walang, yung pagpapatayo ng mga simbahan ay galing sa contribution ng mga parishioners, mga believers, not funded by the government. Even the salaries, or what we call that, honorarium of the priest or minister, not coming from the government or the state, comes from the contribution of the believers or the parishioners. Okay, so you sit down, all of you. We start with Article 124, 125, and 126. So these are the classes of arbitrary detention. What do you mean by detention? Actual confinement of a person in an enclosure or in any manner detaining or depriving of his liberty. So when you see detention, deprivation of liberty. Pagpriso, pagkakakulong. Okay? So yung pagkakakulong, it does mean that you are in the one room. As long as you are not allowed to leave. So even if you are in a compound, for example, we are here in UAP Katubig, malawak yung compound, but all the gates are closed and you cannot go out. You were detained for 1 week by the administrator. Can he be charged for arbitrary detention? Huh? What is your answer? Or for example, ako, your instructor for criminal law, I do not allow you to leave for 3 days to go out. Can I be guilty of arbitrary detention? No, because only public officer that is vested with authority to detain or to order the detention of the person is liable for this crime. For example, a police officer or other agent, judges, mayor, barangay captain, and the municipal councilor are considered a public relation to the crime of arbitrary detention. So if a private individual, for example, me, I did not allow you to live in the campus, although you are free to go out, you are free to do what you want, you are free to eat, you are free to play, free to read and everything, but you are not allowed to leave the campus. If that person is a private individual not vested with the authority to order the detention, hindi siya police, hindi siya mayor, hindi siya judge, hindi barangay captain, or municipal councilor, or other agent of police authority, the crime would be illegal detention or kidnapping pag private individual. Okay? But if you are a person vested with authority to detain a person, then your crime is arbitrary detention. You are a police officer, kinulong mo ang iyong girlfriend. Not in relation to your duty as police officer. What is that? Illegal detention or arbitrary detention? Oh, illegal because it's not in relation to your duty as a public officer. Okay, let us read Article 124 of the Revised Penal Code. Any public officer or employee who, without legal ground, detain a person shall suffer the penalty of arresto mayor in its maximum period to prison correctional in its minimum period if the detention shall not exceed 3 days. Tandaan nyo yung 3 days, ha? If the detention is more than 3 but not more than 15 days, the penalty is prison correctional in its medium and maximum period. But 15 days but not more than 6 months, the penalty is prison mayor. How about if the detention is more than 6 months? The penalty is reclusion temporal. The commission of the crime or violent insanity or any other ailment requiring the compulsory confinement of the patient in hospital shall be considered a legal ground for a detention of any person. For example, si Dominic Pastores, nagkaroon siya ng saltik sa ulo at siya ay lahat ng napapadaan ay kanyang kinakastigo, ginre-rape. So is there a ground for the detention of John Dominic? Okay, yes. Well, according to the law, there will be a ground in case of violent insanity. Okay? So what will be the ground? If a person committed a crime, you have the right to detain the person. Pag nakagawa siya ng krimen. If also he is suffering from violent insanity or other ailment requiring compulsory confinement during the pandemic. Di ba mayroong mga bawal lumabas dahil may batas sa classroom na bawal lumabas. So, if you are suffering, you become positive from the COVID-19, you will be restricted, isolated. For how many days? 14 days. So, hindi ka makakalabas sa loob ng bahay mo or sa hospital. Is it valid? Or is it a violation of illegal detention or arbitrary detention? It is valid because according to our law, if there are ailments requiring compulsory confinement and also for public health and public safety, that is the ground. Kasi pag maglakad-lakad ka dyan sa kalsada na mayroong kang COVID-19, delikado ang public. Arbitrary detention, that the offender is a public officer or employee, that he detained a person and that the detention is without legal ground. So makinig kayo dahil most likely pag kayo ay maging police officer, ito ang inyong makukumit na crime. Mayroong kang pinagsisilosan nanliligaw sa girlfriend mo, isa kang police officer, dinakip mo, ikinulong without any legal ground. You detain the person for 6 months. What will be the penalty? Prison mayor. Okay? So those are the elements. Again, this can be committed by police officer, agent, judges, mayor, barangay captain, municipal councilor, and other person who has the authority to detain the person. Okay, just like what happened in the case of Astorga versus People. Mayor Astorga has ordered the DNR team not to go home. They were restricted or they were detained in a compound. Although they are free to do what they want. They can eat, they can sing, they can dance, but they cannot leave the compound. According to the Supreme Court, the mayor is guilty of arbitrary detention. Okay. What are the examples of detention without legal ground? A barrio lieutenant or barangay captain, seeing his servant quarreling with his daughter, nakipag-away yung kanyang katulong sa kanyang anak, seized the servant and he was sent to the judge. The servant was detained in preso siya 5 p.m. to 9 a.m. in the morning the following day until he was released. The Supreme Court said in U.S. versus Gallega, the barangay lieutenant or the barangay captain, yun ang tawag dati sa barangay captain, lieutenant, was guilty of arbitrary detention because quarreling is not a crime. Yung katulong, hindi siya gumagawa ng crime at that time. Quarreling, pagkikipag-away, it's not a crime. Another example of arbitrary detention, Manila Detective Sergeant arrested Aquilino Tarok because of the suspicion that he might be implicated in the plot to assassinate the president. He was related to Luis Tarok, the Hukbalahap Supremo. Yan. So kaapelyido ni Aquilino Tarok si Luis Tarok, yung leader ng Hukbalahap. They are plotting to kill the president. Aquilino Tarok was arrested. Sabi ng Supreme Court in Tarok versus Carlos, the mere suspicion of his connection with such murderous plot is not a ground for the arrest of the accused. Another example of arbitrary detention, overtaking of another vehicle. The driver was not committing or had not actually committed a crime. Such being the case, the warrantless arrest and subsequent detention is illegal. For example, you are a chief of police, tapos may nag-overtake na isang vehicle. So dahil sa galit mo, hinuli mo siya, iyong ikinulong. So according to the court, overtaking another vehicle is not a crime. So you cannot arrest the person without committing a crime. What are the instances wherein you can arrest a person without warrant? Cedric Librino What are the instances that you can arrest a person without a warrant? So that is correct. There are 3 instances wherein you can arrest a person without warrant. Number 1, when in his presence the person to be arrested is actually committing, and is attempting to commit a crime. So this is in flagrante delicto. So we have 3 situations. The person to be arrested has committed, past, is committing, present, and is attempting to commit, future, an offense. Past, present, future. What is the requirement? In the presence of the arresting officer or person. So not only the police officer can arrest, because we have the citizens arrest. So a private individual can arrest any person who is has committed and is attempting to commit a crime. So number 1 is called in flagrante delicto. The other one is the hot pursuit arrest. When an offense has been committed and he has a probable cause to believe, based on his personal knowledge of the facts and circumstances, that a person to be arrested has committed. So this is hot pursuit arrest. What is the requirements? Probable cause to believe based on personal knowledge. And the other one is those who escape from the. So we continue our discussion. So a peace officer or private person may arrest a person without warrant in flagrante delicto arrest, in hot pursuit operation, and when the person has escaped from a confinement or from a prison cell. So for number 1, in flagrante delicto arrest, it is not mean that the presence does not only require that the arresting person see the offense, but also when we hears the disturbance created thereby and proceeded at once to the scene of the crime. So for warrantless arrest to be valid under Section 5, Paragraph A of Rule 113 of the Rules on Criminal Procedure, the person to be arrested must execute an overt act indicating that he has committed the crime or is actually committing and is attempting to commit a crime. So there must be an overt act. Mayroong outward behavior for a justification to commit a crime, or has just committed, or is committing or attempting to commit. For example, in one case, a person was in a street sa isang mataong iskinita sa Metro Manila. Siya ay palingalinga, hindi siya mapakali. At parang mayroong nakasuksok na baril sa kanyang baywang. And immediately, the person was arrested. Was there a valid warrantless arrest? According to the Supreme Court, no. Wala pa siyang ginagawang crime. At yung palingalinga at yung bulging in the
baywang as if it is a gun, is not tantamount to committing a crime. Dahil wala pa siyang ginagawa. Although nababalisa siya na parang mayroon siyang gagawin. But he has not yet started the overt act. Wala pang justification that he will be committing a crime. So, for flagrante delicto arrest, that such overt act is done in the presence or within the view of the arresting officer. Okay, there is also the so-called a plain view doctrine. Plain view.